Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. If you are a parent who's just been handed a very suspicious looking 3000 PC parts list by your child, breathe, you are not alone. Today I'm going to show you what kids actually need to game, what parts matter, what doesn't, and how to build a good gaming PC without needing to sell a kidney. So let's start here. Why do they want a gaming PC? Usually it's for Fortnite, Minecraft, Roblox, Call of Duty, maybe some 3D modeling for school, and a whole lot of Discord. Good news is, you do not need a NASA supercomputer to play these games. You need balanced parts, not the most expensive parts. Here's the big myth. More expensive equals better. No, that is not true whatsoever, friend. Gaming PCs are all about balance. Putting a $1,200 graphics card in a system with a weak processor is like putting a Ferrari engine on a lawnmower. It's loud, it's dumb, and nobody wins. So, here's what you need to know. A CPU is the brain. You want a good mid-range one, not the most expensive one. A GPU, or a graphics card, draws the game on the screen. It's the most important thing for gaming. RAM is your computer's short-term memory. It's where all of your actively running programs are found. You want 16 gigabytes. You don't need 64 gigabytes. Your storage is where everything on your computer lives. 500 to 1 terabyte SSD. You do not want a slow hard drive. Your power supply is what is pretty self-explanatory. It gives your computer power. Needs to be safe. 500 to 600 watt from a reputable brand. Your case and your lights makes it more beautiful and everything. Lights do not improve your performance, by the way, no matter what your kid says. If your kid tries to tell you that RGB lights increase frame rates, just light them on fire. Let's talk about some real actual builds that make sense. So a budget gaming build will run you about $500, $650. You can run Fortnite, Minecraft, Roblox, Valorant, Rocket League, all of those things that, you know, your kid's probably going to be playing. So you're going to get a Ryzen 5 3600 or i5 10400F. You're going to get yourself a GTX 1660 or an RX 580. You want 16 gigabytes of RAM, 500 gigabyte SSD, and a 500 watt power supply. It runs everything kids play at 1080p just fine. Your mid-range build is going to run you about $750 to $900. It's going to run you Fortnite Ultra, Call of Duty, Apex, GTA 5, and Hogwarts Legacy. You're going to get your Ryzen 5 5600 or i5 12400F. Your RTX 3060, you're going to get yourself 16 gigabytes of RAM and a 1 terabyte SSD and a 550 to 650 watt power supply. It's a sweet spot for performance versus price. And your high-end gaming rigs, but you know, still within like the realm of sanity. You know, you get yourself a Ryzen 5 7600 or an i5 13600K. You're going to get yourself an RTX 4070, 32 gigabytes of RAM, and a 1 terabyte SSD. And you get yourself a quality 650 watt power supply. Still nowhere near $3,000. You do not want to waste money on RGB lighting. It looks cool, but it doesn't do anything for your performance. Liquid cooling, not needed unless they're overclocking, which they shouldn't be. 32 to 64 gigabytes of RAM, no kid needs that to play Fortnite. Premium cables, you don't need premium cables. Laser etched tempered glass unicorn side panels. You don't exist, mate, you don't need that for your computer. You're playing Fortnite, mate. Your kid probably isn't trying to bankrupt you. They saw a cool setup on TikTok, rainbow lights and $2,000 graphics card and thought, that's what gaming looks like. In reality, you can build something great for half the price. If your child is serious about gaming, game design or 3D modeling, a reasonable build is an investment, not a toy. But it does not need to be a $3,000 monster. If you want custom recommended build list, a parts list for your exact budget, or help building the PC, drop a comment or a message. I'll help families with this all the time, mate. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and tell your child that RGB does not make them better at Fortnite. See you next time, mate.